coming down.
Does he have it?
Medeiros is going to get it.
Look at Tanso! He haven't got it!
He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly, Miller's still such trouble. He's not a second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your Sunday night of Tanso Racing Group. This is round one of the season 3, in fact, of this fantastic league. We have a lot of drivers out there on track today, and we're around a fantastic tight circuit with a slight change in it as well, but we'll go over that in just a moment. Today I'm joined in the booth by Dean, aka Biggles. How are you doing, sir?
I'm looking forward to it, isn't it? First race of the season. First races, plural of the season, of course, with the 2 heats. So absolutely jam-packed amount of cars that we have on the track. We'll give you an indication how many tracks are on there at the moment. And with this 3-lap qualifying that's just started, mate, as you said, it's going to get pretty busy out there on the track.
Yeah, so there's going to be a couple of interesting moments on this track, that's for sure. So as the drivers are just getting around doing their qualifying, one thing to mention is, we've said this the last couple of weeks, it's promo race, there's no points up for grabs, but this week it is different. We are on round 1 and 2 here at Oulton Park, so points are up for grabs for all of these drivers. So they will be pushing with everything they possibly have. The practice and the testing they done earlier in the week will hopefully pay off, and we'll have quite a few drivers pushing their cars to the limit. So there's a lot of opportunities here, and there's not much room for error on this track, that's for sure, with it being a lot tighter than some of the tracks we've seen already so far. Thursday's session that just went by with a practice session, for those that were there and out on track practicing, we did see some quick times from the likes of Mark Brown and Mark Proctor, who both picked up wins on their practice races on Thursday. But this is going to be an interesting race for sure. I believe we have around 30 or 30 plus cars out there qualifying at the moment, so there is a lot to look forward to. Now today the Oulton layout is without the Brittens corners, so we're only got 14 corners on this track, but nevertheless, with the amount of cars we have on track, I'm sure we won't miss that extra little chicane. Biggles, have you had any experience on Oulton Park yourself, or is this something new to you?
No, a few times. Not as many as the Formula 1 tracks, and I know like the back of my hand, but I've casted a few of these actually in the last couple of weeks of this track, so certainly tricky where he's going through this section right now, the oil corner or something like that, I believe it is called. I didn't know all the track corner names yet, as we're currently riding on board. This is Ollie. Now, Ollie, we are expecting to get quite well. You are mentioning with some of the drivers, he's got one of the highest I ratings. So you want to give us a hot lap guide? Well, soon, because he's about to complete his first lap, actually. Soon.
Yeah, we can jump on board with that. I need to learn my corner names as well anyway. So this will be a perfect time to do it.
Yeah,
so we'll just wait for them to get round.
That was interesting, going straight through the cones there. That's pulling down and going slow.
Some of these camera angles, by the way, around this track are fantastic.
Is it just trying to find some space? But no, you don't need to find space, of course. It's lone qualifying, so they will not be able to see the other cars on track. Now he's going to be gearing it up, isn't he? You can see Cole to the right-hand side of the screen will be gears and the kilometers per hour. Sorry if you use working the miles system, but metric system's more popular around the world. All right. Over to you, Callum, on board.
I think I'm seeing a different car to you entirely at the minute. Yes, I'm on board with Philip McConaughey, so that's not very useful at all.
Just switch over to follow you if you can.
Yeah, I've got Philip at the minute coming through what looks to be, turn 5, which is the hairpin right at the end of the track, and he's heading past what would have been Brittens, but that's cut off for this layout tonight.
Who was the driver again, sorry?
I am currently on board with Richard Knight. I'm on board with now, apparently.
Yeah, there are a lot of names to go through at the moment. Here's Richard.
So I currently have Richard Knight. Let's have a look at where we are. We are coming up towards, I believe this will be Lodge Corner, is one of the final turns on the circuit, where I've got Richard coming up to at this moment in time. Wait for him to go around there, and then we'll see if I can. Hopefully everything's all matched up time-wise, and I'll be able to take you around on a quick hot lap here. So coming down the home straight here, leaning into Old Hall Corner. Turn 1, straight round there, holding the throttle open. Down the avenue and through Denton's, which is a slight right-hander. Leading into Cascades, which is a long left-hand and sweeping corner, which the wider line benefits there and cutting in last second. Down the lakeside straight around Island Bend, which is another quick left-hander corner, and it's vital that you get your braking point and line spot on around there, because if not, that could really put you off for turn 5, which is a strong cambered right-hander, and as you can see there, if you get a bit off camber, it will send you wide very, very easily. So, like we mentioned before, we're cutting out Brittens, which would normally be here, and the cars will be slowing down, but instead they're going to go full throttle through past Brittens, down the hilltop straight, as you can see coming down the hill now, into turns 10 to 12, which is into Hislops and Knickerbrook. As it comes through Knickerbrook there, up Clay Hill, getting the foot down, and the best thing about this area of the track is if you get a better run than the cars around you, you can really pick up some positions there as you come through Water Tower, getting the brakes early, and through Druids. Now going straight under the Ulrich Bridge. This is coming up to the final turn, which is Lodge Corner.
Gets on the power, climb up the hill. There's your start-finish line in a second. Right there, bang. And Richard Knight's time. It's 149.8. That's 1.8 seconds off Harry, who's currently the man with the fastest time in town for the first race of the season here at the Tanso Racing Group. Welcome everybody in the chat too. Milo's out there. Go the Platinum drivers of John, Alex Sylvester, and Let's Go PRT for on pole.
Let's have a look at the times, and yeah, you can see a lot of the times are pretty close. You've got from P1 to P12, they're all within a second of the leader's time there, so it's going to be very, very close racing, especially off the start. A bit unfortunate if you're starting a bit further down the grid, because when you start further down the grid on this track, depending on how far back the grid goes, you could either be starting around a 90-degree turn, or you can start on a hill, which is not always the best when you have to start with a hill start. That's not fun with these cars at all. So hopefully we'll see everyone get off the line nice and early, and we don't see any, fingers crossed, no jump starts, and hopefully no one stalls either.
Yeah, that's exactly.
That's going to be the biggest problem here, I think, especially when it comes to being on the hill. Was
Jordan just switched over to Jordan at the moment. It's just a little bit of an off-track moment. He was putting in one of his fastest times. Still yet to set a time, unfortunately. So is Joe Glass. That's down here. We do have about 32 to 33 drivers in here. Only 29 of these drivers so far have set times. Because if you do invalid 3 of your laps, then that's it. You're not going to get a time set. And it's up to these drivers of Joe and Stanley. Let's go over to Stanley because he's only got a couple more sectors to go. For his red machine. Red and black machine, as you can see right there. Pictures.
It's the problem with things when they are live. I'm trying to do everything I possibly can to catch up with you, but nothing seems to be working for me.
I'm sharing it for you in the Discord if you need to see it. Stanley goes up P12. So what a way to get a lap in. You needed to get a lap in. Joe Johnson's parked off the side of the road, so he's not going to contribute any more laps. Looks like as well too. Stewart has. And Ayrton as well. That would practically have to be almost it. No other drivers are on track. So with a couple of minutes left of the qualifying session, we'll get those results up in a minute for you. Just give us 1 second out there so we sort some technical issues. So thank you very much. We're back live. We sorted a little technical issues out. That's all good because we didn't miss any of the action. We just had to make sure that in the casting booth here, Callum and I are seeing the same pictures on the screen. Otherwise, it'd be very, very difficult for you to be able to cast, my friend. You look at the same pictures.
Oh, well, indeed. Looks like I'm not too sure what's gone on with Ayrton's car. It is slowing down on the lakeside straight and comes to a complete stop. The session's about to
it's a bit of a
flag.
hot day today, isn't it? It's certainly hot where I am at the moment. I've got fans all over me. I think he's jumped in the lake, mate, for a bit of a swim.
That sounds like a good option, to be fair, at the minute.
All right, so we got the grid results for you to go over now.
Here we go. So, starting off in P1, we've got Harry Fox, John Sylvester, P2, Ollie Cole, rounding off your podium in P3, Mark Brown, P4, Martin Hobson, P5, Richard Fluherty, P6, Neil Rocks, P7, Alex Sylvester, P8, Scott Kostrick, P9, Aaron Kirby, P10, Ryan Dudley, P11, Stanley Jr., P12, Mark Proctor, P13, Shane Cotton, P14, Alex Fretwell, P15, Dan Wareham in 16th, James Bostock, 17th, Philip McConaughey in 18th, Martin Lee, 19th, round off your top 20s, Ayrton Hadfield, Richard Knight, 21st, David Smith is in 23rd there, Sean Clark 24th, James Bartlett 25th, and John Johnson P26, Kevin Randall P27, Stuart Briley P28, Adrian Hadfield P29, Andy West P30, James Baxter P31, Jordan Hadfield P32, and that rounds off your top 30, I think 2 or 33 cars in total there.
33, yeah. Joe Glass was the plump last one because he didn't get a time in. But one man that did get a time in, the fastest time of all of them, is Harry Fox for the Whiskins Racing team. As you can see, his car right there on the grid. There, Harry. And right next to him, of course, will be Mr. John Sylvester. Over to you. Call the race start.
And it is all green, green, green. Everyone is underway, and looks like we've got oh no, we've already had a couple of stalls, I think, at the start of the race there. But the race leader, Harry Fox, has got off to a fantastic start, holding a nice line through turn 1 there, managing to hold his position very nicely. Mark Brown's going to have a bit of pressure from Ollie Cole as we come down into that long sweeping left-hander, high-speed corner. Harry Fox has run away with it already and jumping back with Martin Hobson here. These cars are all going to be very tight in the first couple of laps, that's for sure. Hopefully no major contact happened with that stall at the start from what I could see on the hill. But Harry Fox gaining a big lead already. It's 8 tenths away from Mark Brown at the moment. As you can see there on the timing tower, how close things are. Aaron Kirby's up 3 positions at the minute. Ryan Dudley's just jumped up another position. Alex Fretwell's up 3 positions. So no one's had a better race than James Baxter, who's up 8 positions down there in P23. But at the minute, the battle that we're focusing on is between Alex Sylvester and Ryan Dudley. You can see Ryan Dudley in a bright green Fox livery, trying to hold the inside line as he comes into the chicane. Coming up here. Look at all them cars coming over the hill, all one by one, sort of single file for most of them, apart from Ryan Dudley, who's managed to overtake Richard Fluherty as well in that chicane there. So great move from him. And The only person that's really held their positions within the top sort of 5 is Harry Fox in P1, Ollie Cole P3, and Martin Hobson P5. There's been a bit of movement elsewhere, but it looks like big contact.
Ooh.
3 or 4 cars, and a bit further up the road as well. That doesn't look good at all.
No, it does not, unfortunately, for some of the drivers, but luckily they have another heat. There it is. There's a massive pile up here. Wow, everybody has to luckily go through. His cars are flying all over it. Nerves, of course, and butterflies for these drivers.
Yeah, for some of these drivers, there's some names that I don't recognise. There's potentially some of these guys, it's their first time out on track today, so another spin there. Problem is with this track as well is being off camera in some of these corners, some of them really do kind of screw you up and spit you out as you go through them, but on board here with Ollie Cole, see him making the move down the Lakeside straight just after his left-hander here. Lovely line through there, following Mark Brown nice and tight, getting into the cambered hairpin. Doesn't have a name on our track maps or anything here, but I'm sure we can find it one throughout the race. In fact, I've just found it, Shell's Oil Corner. But at the minute, Ollie Cole is putting immense pressure on Mark Brown and actually gaining the position leading up to the chicane. Going through Hislops and Nickelbrook now, trying to hold that position. Keeps the inside line there coming out of the chicane. Beautiful work there from Ollie Cole, moving up into P2. Mark Brown's going to try and get the pressure on though, but he slightly lost the back end there. So this is the critical thing, is when you're going uphill, it's going to cost you big time. And you can see Mark Brown's dropping the back a bit there. John Sylvester keeping him on his toes though, with Martin Hobson he's sniffing around, and we've seen it before in past races that myself and Biggles have commentated over, where you'll see 2 or 3 cars fighting, and takes one little instant between those 2 or 3 for someone like Martin Hobson to jump up into P2 or even lead race leader. So we've got to be careful when you're fighting up this high in the grid, or wherever you are in the grid really, but one little slip up and that could cost everything, especially on a track as tight as this, with Harry Fox posting a purple time with 1:46 there. He's gone quickest, and you can see the gap he has as well out in front. But Dan Wareham at the minute taking a bit of a wide line there. He's going to do well to hold that. You've got a blue flag car coming out of the pits, obviously from an earlier incident, so that's not going to be very helpful for Dan, but he makes easy work in that, and holding a tight line around the left-hander of Cascades leading into Lakeside straight, and Scott Kostrick is having to defend against Ryan Dudley at the minute. No, sorry, not Ryan Dudley. No, I am correct. That is Ryan Dudley in a Castrol livery.
Who was that went the fence? That's Mark Brown.
Oh no!
Yes.
Oh, he's gone off into the tire wall as well. That's like an instant stop when you hit that.
Yeah.
That's going to be a bit of whiplash in the morning.
Because Mark Brown was obviously high up, and there's the end of it there. From Mark.
You can see from the tyre marks he's gone headfirst into the tyre wall though and bounced straight out again. So that's going to be a big whiplash incident for Mark Brown there. It's going to put him down some positions. You see he's now in P16 behind who we're on board with at the minute, which is Mark Proctor under pressure from Shane Cotton. Mark Proctor there in the yellow and black Benson and Hedges livery, coming up the hill towards Druids at the minute. And some good pace from Proctor for now, and he's got a lot of these drivers at the minute, they're sort of worrying about what's in front of them as well as what's behind, and as you saw from earlier incident, anything could happen, and you really got to be on your toes when the grid is still this close, and it is still very close between a lot of these drivers throughout the grid. You can see there on your timing tower all the amber and yellow times there, and that's the gaps between all the cars. Neil Rock's trying to go up the inside. Doesn't quite get it, but Aaron Kirby's going to spin. Oh, well done from Ryan Dudley to avoid that, and he's actually going to keep that run going on Aaron Kirby actually up there. Yeah, he's got the move done as well. He's gone down on the inside, kept the speed nice and high, and he's away down Lakeside Straight. So fantastic move there from Ryan Dudley on Aaron Kirby. Kirby's going to want to keep that pressure on though, but Dudley's got a bit of fresh air in front of him now. John Sylvester currently 7/10 behind Ollie Cole, and with Martin Hobson, as you can see there in the rear view, 3/10 split these two cars. So a lot of pressure is going to be on from Hobson, but so far, apart from obviously the large spin-out incident we had, where a few cars went off after the big smoke cloud, not too bad, Biggles.
Yeah, you'd have to agree because there's a lot of cars on the track and a little bit of accident. You see when there's a pile-up and drivers have to go left, right. It's almost like a NASCAR, isn't it, when there's cars spawned all over the track. And once again, this battle's still growing here. Mr. Junior and Mr. Dan and Mark Proctor as well is in the mix there. Shane, and just like that, I think we're really throwing those casting curses out here this evening, isn't it, my friends? Every car we're going on right now is making a little bit of a mistake.
Yeah, it's tricky when you're fighting like that. You had sort of 5 cars there leading up to the chicane, and everyone's trying to fight over the best line. And unfortunately, Dan Wareham got a bit too much rubber on the inside of the curb there and started picking up some of the grass. So he just put on his brakes, and he had Mark Proctor come into the back of him, but obviously Mark was on his brakes as well, but that's kind of slowed all these cars down and split the pack up a little bit. So now it's only a pack of 3 rather than a pack of 5, which is a bit safer, but still there's going to be risks in it when overtaken. You can see how wide Dan takes that corner there and slightly onto the grass. He really wants to get the move done on Shane Cotton, and it's not going to be easy at all, but he's looking up the inside. Now, can he get it into turn 1? I think he is. Yeah, he's going to manage that easily. Both cars behind are going to go wide, but Dan's gone way too deep there on that turn, but he's going to hold his momentum. Luckily, there's quite a large runoff in turn 1, so if you go off, it's not the same as hitting the normal grass. There is a little graded system in there, so when you go off, you can keep somewhat of your momentum going, and Dan's managed to do that very well. But Mark Brown at the minute is the car trying to get around Shane Cotton. Shane Cotton doing a very good job at defending so far, leading up into the Shell Oils corner.
Going to go back to this battle of growing up there between Kirby and Ryan Dudley and Scott and Jason in the chat at the moment. They're PRT in the top 10. Currently, moment PRT, Martin Hobson is just up the road there in P4. You see them go through the snake, the S's, and here's Ryan. And he wants to get...
I have to say, Ryan done a fantastic job of defending there. Cut off that line beautifully from Aaron Kirby.
He's trying his absolute best. Yeah, exactly. As Martin's trying his best to get past John Sylvester there in P3, who's just tucked up in the back there of Ollie. Harry's got a nice 2-second gap at the moment, so as long as Harry can maintain that.
We know Scott Kostrick has done this before, though, where he's kind of seen people battling. He kind of sits off a little bit, but he's able to pounce, because when we've seen it many times so far already in just the promo races this season, where you get 2 or 3 cars fighting, and that really slows them down, and your perfect opportunity for maybe a semi-safe lunge, or when they slightly brush doors. Yeah, I call it a semi-safe lunge, because we don't want to say lunge and promote all the lunges, so we call it semi-safe lunge. But when you might get a chance to do that, or if they brush doors and make contact, then obviously you're able to easily make the overtake then. Philip McConaughey is looking to, was looking, I believe, for a semi-safe lunge then, but wasn't quite in the shooting distance of Mark Brown. As you can see, just ahead there in P14. Alex Sylvester currently in P9, 3/10 behind Richard Flaherty.
Look at the different racing lines. I'll say that's almost a lunge on that one, because you could just see that Richard made a little bit of an error, and on this track, it's not the easiest to overtake, and obviously they're finding a way to get it done when you can, because you're on a 20-minute sprint, of course, and as you can see, halfway through right now.
Yeah, and that was very good actually from Alex Sylvester, because he's going to have the draft going down this straight, leading into the chicane. Now, what lines is he going to hold? It looks like he's going to settle for the outside, and he's going to. Well, I thought he might try and go for a cutback, but we've got someone off track there. It looks like, I think that's Martin Hobson.
Martin Hobson.
Yeah, Martin Hobson, unfortunately, off track there, losing some positions on that chicane. But you can see these guys are really, they're really picking up. Look, Ryan Dudley holding the inside line now, leading round towards the final turn. You can see this kind of bumpy straight now, leading down to the final turn. What lines are he going to hold? Scott Kostrick also looking for a move on Aaron Kirby. He's looking up the inside. Is he going to get 1 car or 2? He's going to back off, actually, and play it safe. Well done there between those 2 drivers for keeping everything safe. That's what we like to see on these race days. And they're almost going to come side by side. In fact, they are. They're going to be side by side down the home straight, leading into turn 1. Aaron Kirby with the inside line. Advantage over Ryan Dudley, but Ryan Dudley's going to hold the speed. Look at the speed he's holding through turn 1. Uses a bit of the runoff there and manages to keep the position. Scott Kostrick now is going to have the inside line, leading down through Cascades, which is turn 3. Here we go. Scott Kostrick is not going to have enough. Oh, he is going to have enough juice by the exit. They're going to be side by side. Look at that for a camera angle on this battle. These cars are almost 3 wide. Richard Fluity there in the lime green, you can see just behind and trying to poke his nose up. He gets the move done following. No, he doesn't. I thought he was going to follow Scott Kostrick, but he actually backs out as well. But Scott Kostrick is going to come out on top of this pack so far. Richard Fluity there moving through. Yep, he's gone past Aaron Kirby. Kirby's been put in the rear view mirror now, and Richard's probably going to have to hold the inside line leading up to the chicane, because that's one of the number 1 spots that I've seen overtakes being done so far in tight battles. And are we going to see that again from Kirby here? No, he's going to look towards the outside, because then he'll be on the inside in this turn, but he's not going to be side by side with him for a battle. So they're just going to stick single file and try and get the better exit than the car in front. And I think Aaron Kirby's actually had a worse exit out of that corner than Alex Sylvester, who's just behind him.
So
and,
also further up the road, John managed he's been working on trying to get past Ollie here. This is a battle for P2. He gets the job done, but then Ollie comes back at him. So what's happened here? This is just his switcheroo classic. Yeah.
I think he's got a bit nervous going in side by side there, because it's not an easy chicane to go side by side into.
Goes off here somewhere, because John hasn't got the overtake done yet. This is just a replay. So that was done there, and then came back on that one. So that battle's still resuming and continuing. Ollie's still in P2. I want to go back to the action, of course, right here, because that's the hot zone. Currently at the moment on track. A little bit of hot zone further back there, David Smith, but sorry, David. This is where anything can go wrong and might go wrong or might go right for some of the drivers, of course. 7 minutes and change to go for our first heat race of the season. Of course, media day's over, dress rehearsal's over. It's the main show right now.
And it's fantastic from these drivers that we are watching at the minute, because I believe all of these will be scoring points this race as well.
Actually, I think Mark might have the job done. There you go, Mark. So, yeah, you got the camera on you eventually for the old school Benson and Hedges BP racing team. Good job. But Ollie's put pressure on a race leader. My apologies, John, again. This is that battle once again. Round 3 or 4 of these 2 drivers going for it.
Is he gonna hold the outside line this time and try and get a bit later on the brakes? See the skull mask there of John Sylvester on the helmet, and he keeps backing out of the same corner. I think if he wants to get the move done, he needs to be a little bit later on the brakes. You can see the skull mask looking very vicious there on the front of the helmet of John Sylvester, but he definitely needs to get a bit later on the brakes to try and get that move done.
Would you notice that if you're looking in your mirrors? You shouldn't be looking in your mirrors that much as driving to see.
Well, yeah, if you notice that level of detail, I'll be impressed. But I have to admit, if I saw that, I'll be a bit worried. That kind of put me off a little bit. So maybe it's a scare tactic. That might be what it's worth. But
the back
you can see how close these battles
still
are.
Overtakes. There's another little battle brewing back here for 23rd position. Really 24th currently at the moment of Jordan and the battle. I don't know if they're siblings or families, but they both end with Hatfield.
I think we do have a couple of family members out there. I think the Hadfields are one of them, and also I'm just trying to see them in the.
There is another one. I was going through the names before. I saw, the old software highlights and says, "Hey, have you made a boo boo? Because there's duplicates." I'm like, no, that's not a boo boo. Drivers have the same first name or surnames.
Yeah, I'm not too sure who it was, but. Back into the action then, as we see Scott Kostrick is putting pressure on Ryan Dudley now, who's leading this group of cars in the Castrol Classic livery. You can see a bit of a gap forming between Kostrick and Richard Fluity, but that's going to close up, I think, after that big right-hander there, and that's going to be an important corner, because if you get the camber right there, that's going to give you a fantastic exit, especially since we haven't got Brittens, as you can see there. It's all coned off.
This again, up the road. He's two for now.
It's got to be later on the brakes. No, he's got it. He's done it. He was a bit later on the brakes. Oh, he's got a bit wide though. That's not what you want. Ollie Ricks is going to have it. Ollie Ricks has got it done around the outside. Fantastic there.
He's going to have to change something, isn't he? Because every single time, if somebody goes off into the background.
Yeah, I think is that Sylvester? Alex Sylvester?
Yes, it is. Oh, no. Sorry,
one of the Sylvesters is
Milo. That was talking about Go John. Maybe first race nerves. That's part of everybody, isn't it? At the end of the day. The good thing about having 2 heats is that you get a second chance.
Yes, and it's reverse grid as well, which is a great chance for some of these drivers. I believe it's reverse grid for top 15. So it'll be fantastic for some of these drivers that are around that area at the moment.
Yeah,
But
especially if
Aaron-
these are all grouped up again too for the second heat, because they're going to continue this battle. They're going to want, some drivers are going to want revenge. A little bit of contact there. That's it. Nothing. It's a, you know, these Toyotas can handle a bit of bumping and groaning.
I think these drivers are going to be the battle all season long by the looks of it, because I remember seeing last season we had some of these drivers doing this kind of battling at the end of last season as well. So some of them are really starting to pick up their pace and get a lot closer together, as you can see between Richard Fluity, Aaron Kirby, Fretwell. These three cars in particular keeping things really close throughout the race, and nothing given between any car there. You can see wonderful camera angles that we have around this track tonight. You can see great coverage of all these cars going around Oulton Park. I think that's really good that we don't have Brittens though tonight. It gives these drivers a fantastic opportunity for another overtake down this back straight, and you can see how much it means to someone like John Sylvester, for example, and Ollie Cole when they're fighting. That's their main fighting point, is that back straight when they have the speed.
Well, John got completely past Ollie. Ollie's gone off track. That's the reason why. Let's have a look at this one. That battle was brewing for the P2. Now, you know that John was being applying. Oh, there he is. His head goes straight through the corner. Has he kept it onto the road? Yes, he has. But he will have to yield that position to John, because that's, yeah. Okay, he did. I'm not sure if you got... That's a slowdown, isn't it? Yeah, that's because you can't be cutting the corner like that, of course.
I think he lost it under braking there. He tried to swing the car in a lot under braking, which is not... these cars aren't forgiven when it comes to that. They're forgiven when you can put a load of grip into the car and, you know, take corners at higher speed, but they're not forgiven when you turn under braking. Not at all. But we're in our last 2 minutes as well.
Yeah, these two going down the main straightaway. Ryan's going to put some pressure on Ollie. If Ollie gets back up on the pace there, of course, he's got grass on his tyres. But I just want to see this battle just a little bit here. Somebody coming out of the pit road as well, too. Could hopefully just tuck in behind and let these two gladiators battle it out here in Oulton Park.
Yeah, Dan Wareham trying to get any higher in the top 10 at the minute. Next to Neil Rocks at the moment, who's P9. So they're going to come side by side down towards the fast left-hander, leading around towards Lakeside Straight as they get on that here, and they're going to keep it side by side, and great respect between the drivers. Look at the space being given. Dan Wareham's going to come up with the position in the end, but it looks like Neil Rocks is going to try and get back up the inside, and I think he may have the momentum to do so as well. They're currently, they're dead on side by side now, and this battle is certainly not going to let up.
Yeah, listen
and
to the fans outside.
Sounds like we've got some... Yeah, we've got some angry drivers out there today as well, using their horns. I think that's Dan Wareham's signal of appreciation there, using his horn as he goes around the Oulton Park circuit, and manages to hold the position to Neil Rocks as well. But just behind Neil Rocks is Martin Hobson, who's having to overtake a lapped car, I believe.
Joe Glass.
Not too sure where that is, but in the autumn livery. Yeah, there's Joe Glass trying to catch up to David Smith, and managing to get side by side of him, leading up the back straight past where Brittens would normally be.
You've got to give it to Joe, mate. 11 positions gained. And now make that 12 if he can make it stick. Might have to head up back up over to the leaders. No, he's going to have to just lift a little bit through there. No, he's bold. Yeah. He's like, haha. He's going for it.
That's what we want to see.
Yes.
Joe Glass getting his nose in there and getting stuck in and managing to pull off the position. David Smith's going to be spitting the feathers over that, but what a move by Joe Glass. Evening to Mr. B there in the chat, but back on board with the leader, Harry Fox, who's nearly 7 seconds in the clear. Harry Fox has had a wonderful race so far and catching up to back markers, as you can see there, offering the inside line.
Should be on the last lap, right? So 20
yeah, that should be. This should be the white flag lap, almost certainly. I wouldn't have thought he got around without seeing that, and as you can see there on the wing of Harry Fox, don't panic, and he certainly hasn't panicked at all throughout this race, holding P1 I believe for the entirety of the race. They had a great start, managed to get past the first few corners without any issues, no cold tyre problems or anything like that, and held his position nicely throughout the race. And
we'll go back to him in a second, because I just want to see if anybody wants to take a final opportunity here for the P4 up for grabs.
That was Ollie Cole and Ryan Dudley battling it out, and they've actually both got a classic Castrol livery on. I didn't realise there was two out there today. But Scott Kostrick is kind of looking to jump on that podium if he can in the last few seconds of this race. Your leader's now coming around the final turn, around Lodge Corner, into Deer Leap, which is this hill here as he comes across the line, taking the, what I believe is the checkered flag, and there it is. There's your race winner for race number 1, Harry Fox. John Sylvester finishing off in P2. Ollie Cole rounded off your podium sitters in P3, and Brian Dudley, Scott Kostrick and Aaron Kirby, even though they were close, they're just missing out on your podium positions. But you can see how close the groups of cars are on this track, and it's a fantastic track for these cars to be on. Absolutely fantastic, because with the amount of drivers you have out there and how tight the course is, it's not easy to get overtakes done, so you do have to sort of bide your time and sit in your place behind other drivers. So it makes for some great entertainment for us here in the booth, and hopefully it provides some great entertainment and enjoyment for those behind the wheel as well, as we just wait for the last few to get across the line before we bring you your results, final results for race number 1. And remember, this is 4 points, so Harry Fox will be taking all the points today, as well as I believe Harry Fox did have the quickest lap of race 1, so I believe he'll get bonus points for that.
Well, we got drivers
Harry
boxing
Fox
in the last lap there. Oh, I guess because you're going to cross the line anyway into the pit lane entrance.
Yeah, I imagine that's what they'll be doing, but they're going to be into a 5-minute warm-up anyway, and we have a roadblock. Our leader's off the track there, but yeah, not too sure what's going on between them. But James Baxter has just got the position over John Johnston just before the line there. You can see 1/10 between those two. Great move from there in the last seconds of the race. Adrian Hadfield rounding off your grid then. I think the last runner, P29, as he comes across the line now. There we go.
Adrian.
Stewards are advising... Adrian Hadfield. You can tell Barney now that he can lower his arm and he can rest up ready for race number 2 as we sit on our 5-minute warm-up session waiting for race number 2. But your results from Heat 1 is as follows. Harry Fox finishing P1, your race winner. John Sylvester, P2. Ollie Cole running off the podium spots in P3. Brian Dudley and Scott Kostrick just missing out in P4 and 5. Aaron Kirby, P6. Richard Fluherty, P7. Alex Fretwell, P8. Dan Wareham, P9. Neil Rocks rounding off your top 10. Martin Hobson, P11. Mark Brown, P12. Philip McConaughey finishing in 13th. Shane Cotton, 14th. Alex Sylvester, 15th. James Howells, 16th. James Bostock, 17th. James Pallett, 18th. A lot of Jameses in this grid. Mark Proctor, P19. Stanley Jr. ran off your top 20. Joe Glass, 21st. Ayrton Hadfield, 22nd. Kevin Randall, P23. Sean Clark, P24. James Baxter, P25. John Johnston, P26. David Smith, P27. Adrian Hadfield, P28. Martin Lee, P29. Andy West, P30. And P31 is Jordan Hadfield with Stuart Briley, P32. And Richard Knight, P33.
And just remember,
absolutely.
Just remember, everybody out there, the drivers that are over 100 are in your pro class. The drivers under 100, that's the driver number that you can see right next to their nationality. AM class. So, am I correct? The other way around, actually. I'm still confused on this one. It's over 100, isn't it? That's your AM class. Yes.
That is a very good question. I believe it is.
Yes, it is. Yep. So that means that you'd have to say Harry Fox and John Sylvester did pretty damn good there.
They did indeed, and Ollie Cole was the leader for his class as well. So Ollie Cole, even though he got P3 overall, he got P1 for his class, as well as Philip McConaughey, P2 in his class, and Shane Cotton, who finished P14, actually was P3 in his class as well. So that was actually quite good results for them too, considering they're 13th and 14th. But also, one thing to remember, we have a reverse grid.
Yes.
So these two that just got them podium positions are actually going to be starting on the podium next race, I believe, as well. So that's going to throw a couple of spanners in the works for the next race, which I'm looking forward to.
Definitely spice things up. Yeah, just a quick brief. If everybody wants to take a bit of a break, because we're on a little bit of a warm-up. We have a couple of minutes left of a warm-up. The drivers are probably going for a little bit of a break themselves. And so if you are tuning in, thank you very much for tuning in. Hit the bells, like and subscribe if you're enjoying the Tanso Racing League that's starting Season 3 right now. Round 1's done. Round 2's about to come up. That reverse grid you'd mentioned. So grab yourself some popcorn, some drinks, hit that thumbs up, and come and join us just in a minute or so there. We'll get those reverse grid results up for you for who's starting where and how. So don't go anywhere.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to quickly go through your calendar for this season's events as well while we are waiting for the warm-up to finish off. So we've had our 2 promo races, which were at Laguna Seca and Summit Point Raceway. Summit Point is the race that has just gone by. We are currently at Oulton Park for rounds 1 and 2. We've got Virginia International Raceway, Sunday the 21st, for rounds 3 and 4. Then 5 and 6 are around Brands Hatch on the 28th of May. 4th of June, we're around Mount Panorama. And then 9 and 10 rounds, we are around Donington GP, followed by Okayama International. And then the big one ran off with Silverstone Legacy. So plenty of opportunities for these guys to get some points on the board. But we're going to quickly go through your grid. And for the race number 2, or for your feature race, so we've got Alex Sylvester, P1, Shane Cotton, P2, Philip McConaughey, P3, Mark Brown, P4, Martin Hobson, P5, Neil Rocks, P6, Dan Wareham, P7, Alex Fretwell, P8, Richard Fluity, P9, Aaron Kirby, P10. You've then got...
I skipped it too. Whoops, sorry, my bad.
That's right. You got Ollie Cole, P13. You got John Sylvester, P14. There we go. You got Scott Kostick, P11, and Ryan Dudley, P12. But carrying on from where we were, Harry Fox, P15, James Howells, P16, James Bostock, P17, James Pallett, P18, Mark Proctor, P19. And we're already going green. And the cars are all underway. A bit of smoke there from P3. And wow, look at that for a start from Philip. I think it was Philip McConaughey. Was it? No, sorry, it's Mark Brown. Mark Brown jumping straight into the lead there. Didn't give me a chance to finish off the grid, and he's already underway and wants this race victory. And there's contact already between 2 white and reds there. That's not good at all. I think that's the same teams as Mark Brown and Alex Sylvester, the 2 front runners at this moment in time. So the teammates for them are not going well. But we are with Philip McConaughey, who's currently holding up a little bit of a pack here, or trying to keep in front of him anyway. I wouldn't necessarily say holding up, that's probably the wrong words to use, but you can see how close they are just behind him. So he's got a lot of cars to worry about in his rear view. Dan Wareham's leading the chase onto Philip McConaughey there, and bit of a gap opening up already between Philip and Aaron Kirby. He's going to do everything he possibly can to close that gap, I imagine. 20 minutes, though, of your feature race, your final race of the night, and this is what the drivers will be going all out for, because this is the last chance to get points around this track for this season. So here we go, side by side through the chicane. Look at that. Fantastic from these drivers, keeping it nice and clean through there is what we'd like to see. Shane Cotton coming out in P3, and Alex Sylvester getting the job done in P2 there. Neil Rocks into P5, tucking just behind the white and red livery there of, I believe that is Shane Cotton. Yes, that is. No, it's not. I was wrong. Aaron Kirby. I was close enough. Aaron Kirby there in the white and red livery, managing to hold the position with the lime green wing mirrors. Scott Kostrick just behind there, and a bit of space with Ryan Dudley just behind him. And got so much going on already. And Dan Wareham side by side into the final turn, getting a bit loose on the exit, but managing to keep momentum going up the hill, which is vital for that part of the track. And there's already someone darting straight into the pits at high speed as well. So hopefully everything's all good there, but quick pit stop this early in the race is never good, and hopefully then get out nice and quickly to catch back up with the pack. I think that was James Baxter that went into the pit. No, sorry, James Howes that went into the pits. Dan Wareham's coming side by side through the left-hander, leading down Lakeside straight, and in fact Dan Wareham's off, and there's
Shane. Oh, he's in the wrong direction. Hopefully nobody's gonna. Yeah, he's going to get off the racing line, and you'd be hoping that nobody's going to be turning around to plough him in that one. That's unfortunate for him, dropping those places, especially at the start of a race too, my friend, because you know how many places you're going to drop at 20-something, depending on everybody coming around. Look at this.
I'll move Shane Cotton, not Shane Cotton, Scott Kostrick around the outside, managing to put Ryan Dudley under immense pressure there and getting his nose just in front, leading down the chicane past Brittens and heading down towards the one and only vital chicane, which is Hislops and Knickerbrook.
Dan's gone really slow here as well in that battle earlier. So the other got a slow down, he's gone off track.
Yeah, he's dropping positions quite quickly as well. Not good for him, but Ryan Dudley looks like he's come out on top around Scott Kostrick. He had the inside line leading around that chicane, so he's managed to keep that position, but they're side by side again. Scott Kostrick is not going to let him have this one easily, and he's going to put that comic livery to good use and make sure that it's all in the view of Ryan Dudley, but he's not going to have enough momentum to get it done around the inside. Can he try and keep side by side leaning into the final turn? He can't. He tucks right in behind Ryan Dudley. What line is he going to choose now? Because this is a perfect time to attack, and if he gets a good exit up the hill, this could be vital, but it looks like he's not going to have the momentum to do it. Harry Fox, though, is going to put the pressure on Scott Kostrick, which could slow him down. Mark Brown's just gone quickest. No, Aaron Kirby's just taken that away from him and gone quickest with a 1:47.1. So great racing from these guys so far, and Aaron Kirby, your quickest runner of the pack to this point. But Neil Rocks at the moment still trying to put pressure on Harry Fox, who's also trying to get past Scott Kostrick, kind of weaving side to side and getting in each mirror, trying to put Scott Kostrick off wherever he possibly can. You can see the whisk livery there of both Harry Fox and Neil Rocks. They're kind of taking it easy. They don't want to get too close because they're running the same livery. I believe they are teammates, and that's the last thing you want to do is put your teammate off, but they're almost going to make contact there leading around that right-hander. And they're all going to come out, and again, this is that pack that we were on about in race one, that we're all close together and always battling. This is that group. It never cease to entertain. They're always fantastic, and look at these cars. They come straight over the hill there, down the straight, leading towards Knickerbrook again for the third or fourth time this race, and Ryan Dudley's gone off track there. Harry Fox, can he capitalise on that situation? Oh, nearly contact between the two, but he's going to have the position on top of Ryan Dudley, and look, there's a couple of cars going side by side into this. I think we've got 3 rows of cars side by side, almost. We're doing this contact between Scott Kostrick, there's people in the wall! There's people in the wall. Scott Kostrick's gone into the wall with Neil Rocks as well. That's not good whatsoever. Those two coming together corner to corner, and Scott Kostrick's inside left wing has taken out the rear right of Neil Rocks and put them both into the wall, ruining both of their races, unfortunately, for these high positions that these guys are currently fighting over. But Harry Fox capitalising on Ryan Dudley's mistake just after the chicane, and Ryan Dudley's going to come on attack. You can see how close he's having to get to try and get this move done, leading down into turn 1. Aaron Kirby's gone quickest again with 1:47. Ryan Dudley not going to get the position. I don't think they're going to be side by side. He's going to have the inside line, so advantage Ryan Dudley. He's got the position just. You can see how close they are there. And yeah, advantage Ryan Dudley as he comes around the inside line, but the momentum's going to be with Harry Fox, who can carry a bit more speed. You can see him flashing his lights one there, but John Sylvester's tucked up right behind him, trying to get the draft of Harry Fox, and they're going to be side by side still. Look at this pack as they come into the right-hander Shell Oils corner, and they go through there almost single file, apart from Fluidity, who had big nerve to go side by side there with Ollie Cole in the other Castrol livery, and manages to get the position. Bit of contact between the two, but they both managed to keep it, and both keep it on track as well, so well done for those two. And you've got Dudley trying to get on the outside line leading up into the chicane, gonna try and hold that position. I'm not too sure if he's managed it. No, he hasn't. There he goes, he's spun. Both Castrol cars are off the track at the minute. That's not good for either car. Yeah, that's the battle done.
David Smith.
I think Ollie Cole kept it on. Yeah, David Smith at the back of the pack here. Back of the pack of Alex Fretwell, Pallett and Hadfield.
Probably going to be seeing this puff of smoke everywhere and going, what is just going on? What the has just going on, actually, is the word I'd be probably saying inside the cockpit.
It's always a scary thing when you see smoke in races. You see that and you're thinking, where's the car? And it could pop out at any time, and it's the scariest feeling ever. I've had it many times on track, and it's not nice at all. And it's almost contact there, very well held.
Yeah,
I think that Ayrton Hadfield, who I believe is, if I've got this in the right way round, that is the son of Adrian Hadfield.
Oh, okay.
I believe I've got that the right way round. I will double check
father,
that.
like
if
son?
not,
like son, like father.
hopefully, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna just double check that actually, but because I did have this noted down because I spoke to these drivers before and they had a good season last season when I was helping cover that.
He comes Alex
Sylvester.
Now we know that Milo had no chat. Milo, thank you very much for being in the chat there, keeping us occupied out there, as well as Mr. B. Yeah, I know it's very quiet out there in the chat because most of the drivers are going to be watching this one back. By the way, drivers, hello. If you're going to be watching this one back and seeing yourselves on the screen there for the second race of the season that's starting up, you'll be enjoying riding on board with Alex Sylvester. I'm sure he'll be enjoying watching this one back there. Trying to bring it to Aaron Kirby. And patiently just waiting up to say, because you're not even halfway through the race at the moment. There was another overtake a little bit further. Well, trust me, mate, there's overtakes everywhere, so it's not to say that there's no overtakes on here.
Can't
David
keep up
Smith,
with it.
of course, a little bit further back here in our
look at the track map.
SLR racing team, of course. That's another fantastic league that we do broadcast here on the GP Broadcaster Network. So it's almost like James, mate. When I cast with James like, I know that driver, I know that driver, I know that driver, I know that team, I know that. I'm like, of course you do, James, because you broadcast like 10 hours a day. And why not? He's a great... He's the man behind the scenes as these gladiators are behind these machines, making their way halfway through the second heat race. Call it the feature race up there on the screen, but it's just another heat race. Same thing, 20 minutes, reverse grid.
Yeah, I mean, you could just take a look at the track map. You can see how close these cars are, and James Bostock just losing the position there to Dan Wareham, who gets past nice and easily up the hill there. Ollie Cole going quick as a 146.7. Ollie Cole with some serious pace around this track, both in race 1 and 2. But James Bostock's going to try and get the pressure back on Dan Wareham and try and catch him down into the quick left-hander, going around towards Lakeside Straight. Both holding tight inside lines and not able to get any closer just yet.
Maybe Mark
Bostock.
Maybe Mark Stuck. And Mark Proctor, Richard Fluharty.
Yeah, Richard Fluharty's currently on top, but Mark Proctor, no, he's gone wide and let Ollie Cole through. The door's been left wide open. Ollie Cole said thank you very much, and he's took that without any hesitation.
Yeah,
and,
mate, James would say he's left the door open and he got burgled. That's a JVP reference there from James himself, of course. He likes using that one. But anyway, let's see where Richard does. Richard, close your doors, lock your windows, because Ollie's in town.
He's begging to be robbed by the looks of it in the minute. Ollie Cole sort of swinging left to right and trying to look for the best line around, and he did have the inside line there, but I guess didn't want to lunge this early on. We're only halfway through the race, so there's still plenty of time to go as he's once again going up the inside, and they're going to be side by side, and both cars are aware of each other. As you can see there, going a bit wider to maintain both on track, and there's a bit of door bashing between the two. That's going to bring Mark Proctor into the mix.
Party. Why
Three
not?
Wide. Oh,
Two's
Mark
a
Proctor's
company,
backed out.
three's a party. Mark, come on, get in there. Actually, Mark's probably glad to back out on that one, realising if they do tangle. Ollie does get that position now, and Richard under pressure there from Mark. And don't you forget, you look at that timing table, just down the road, there's a whole bunch of talent ready to seize the opportunity if push comes to shove for some of these gladiators. Mark Brown, of course, 3.5 seconds down the road, no problems, unless Aaron can shave time tooth and nail off that one. But don't think so at this point. But you know how easy it is to make mistakes around here, mate. You've seen it so far.
Yeah, I've seen a few mistakes, but I just looked at the times there as these cars came around, and the amount of drivers that are doing 147s, they're all so tightly matched. This is going to shape up to be a fantastic season if it's like this. So good to see a lot of the pack doing the same times. As you can see, someone's gone off track big time there. I think that was Martin Lee back there who just had a massive off track. And
it was. I don't really want to show too much of those little mistakes because a few of the drivers are making them, but there it is.
Yeah, unfortunately a bit wide through the fast turn there, but no crash, no biggie. He brought it straight back on track and everything's all good to carry on. Richard Fluity leading this pack of, in fact, no, correction. Ollie Cole leading the pack of cars. Mark Proctor's going to go for a move on Richard Fluity. He doesn't quite get it, but Dan Wareham's going to see if he can put his nose in where it doesn't belong, but he's not going to be able to do so. And you can see from tyre marks there, people struggle for grip around that corner, almost burning it into drifts. Things, and you can see James Bostock now catching up to this pack of cars as well. So this is your battle from P7 to P11.
You're right, further back there's this nice battle brewing here for 17 or so down the road there, so I also want to switch the camera and try to give everybody as much exposure as possible for the racing that they do.
Yeah, so we've got in this
track,
battle here, we've got Sean Clark with Martin Lee trying to pressure Sean at the minute. There's a bit of contact.
That is a bit of pressure, my friend. To fall a little bit of pressure by Sean, unfortunately, into the gravel trap.
I think that was probably a bit on us.
Hey, and that is us again. How many times have we done that this evening, my friend? Switched over. I was like, let's go switch over to this pack, and then bang, all of a sudden something happens. Oops.
There is your lead owner, John Johnston, there in P17. Under pressure at the minute from Hadfield and Shane Cotton.
I feel like we should switch away, otherwise we might get in trouble.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of people that like seeing Johnston go off here. From what I've heard when I've spoken to these drivers after the race, and they do quite enjoy seeing Johnston struggle.
Here he is.
Unfortunate for him, but he's doing a fantastic job at the minute, holding off in P17 to Jordan Hadfield and Shane Cotton. Also, Martin Lee's now getting in on the mix as well, getting in on the battle. We'll see how these guys do getting through the hairpins. They go around the quick left-hander.
Sorry, I have to go back to this one in a second.
That's all right.
Side by side, Mark and Richard. We've heard that before. Well, if you tuned into some of the media days, you've seen these two gladiators go for it tooth and nail before in the past. As well, you're seeing it again here today.
Side by side through the chicane. People are starting to get nerve now around this track, and we're seeing more battles side by side through the chicanes, which is good to see. Brings a lot more entertainment to the package that everyone comes to watch week in, week out on Sundays. Mark Proctor is trying to put as much pressure on as he can on Richard Fluity at the moment. Richard Fluity just doing enough to hold a semi-decent line around there, and
we'll have to go
Mark
back
Proctor's going to have the inside.
Second, because two battles brewing. Of course, Aaron and Alex. We might have to see if we can get that overtake.
Alex Sylvester just posting the quickest time. Oh no, Harry Fox just took that away from him, and as James likes to mention, he's just been robbed.
Yep.
So
burgled.
Harry Fox has just gone your quickest time overall so far this session.
But Shane in this battle before that we were looking at, I want to go back to it because you can see on the track map it's heating up, of course, with the boss man in town. And there's Shane going a little bit twirly-whirly off the track there. Keeps it on the tarmac. Miraculously, I don't know. Miraculously is probably the word I was looking for, isn't it? But he somehow did do it. Martin Lee, there's also a battle further up, and we saw 8, 9, and 10. But I want to give a little bit more TV time around here because these guys, even though they're down the road, and unfortunately, you know, just were down the road there. Jordan in the fence. Oh, it's going to hurt.
Luckily, the way the car had contact with the wall, I don't think it's going to propose too much damage on that vehicle, though, so he should be able to carry on. You can see John Johnston still maintaining the lead ahead of this group of cars, and Shane Cotton there having to defend against Martin Lee.
Do you think it's because they're just afraid to mess with the boss man?
Maybe, but I'd see that as an opportunity to kind of get my name well known. Be a bit of a hassle. So then
you go. So your wish is
you want to make a statement for the rest of the season.
Well, here it is right now.
Yeah, you've got Shane Cotton going side by side with him, and just because he's the league owner, he's not giving him any
it's a
freedom.
Fun league too. There's no way. Oh, but somebody's had a little bit of moment up the road because you could see a little puff of smoke. That's Richard, I think. It is Richard.
That is, yeah.
Look at
Richard
just up
Flood
the
in the
road.
lime green Fox livery, yeah. He's had a big off track as well, because that was a lot of smoke. They looked like a family barbecue down there on the chicane. So not 100% sure what happened there, but it wasn't any good. And John Johnson's just lost the position down into P19 to Martin Lee, and he's going to have Neil Rocks knocking on the door as well. And Neil
John
Rocks
Starr
has seen the smoke and thought there was a family barbecue, so he's in a rush to try and get there and trying to get past John Johnston for the stakes.
He's probably like Biggles, mate. Did you fire up some rear on the barbecue? I'm keen to try some kangaroo, so it's just slow down a little bit. We'll do a kangaroo drive-through at some point in the future, but unfortunately you're not going to find it here in Oulton Park. But Bathurst, I guarantee you will. We'll get that sorted out later in the season. Is Neil Rocks.
I think the one thing to go through Neil Rocks' head is what's on his spoiler, which is don't panic, because he does have the league owner almost side by side of him as they come round Cascades there, and Johnson's going to let him through nice and safely. Well done to those two there. Sylvester's almost going side by side into the chicane. 3/10 splitting Sylvester and Kirby, as you can see in the positive perception livery just ahead there is Aaron Kirby, and Alex Sylvester, in the black and red just behind that. Dan Warren with the bright pink bonnet there coming into the chicane, managing to get the position over Bostock, but there's contact between the two.
Yeah, he hit the tyre wall. Just a little bit turned too soon into that. Hence the reason why they do that. That's, yeah, I'm not quite sure. Would they actually allow that on track in real life? That was a bit of a sludger. It would destroy your car, wouldn't it?
I think they don't actually have the tyre walls there. I think it's normally cones or just the single bollard that sits there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they have those there.
That's a way to stop really quickly, isn't it? Put your nose into that corner. Joe
Especially
Glass as well,
Brittens.
Scott for a sec. Yeah, you just some familiar names you're going to be seeing all season long. Liveries you're getting used to seeing over it again, isn't it? How many times have we seen these two liveries in the media days?
Yeah, quite a lot. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think James Bostock might have updated his livery as well, because that doesn't look like the same GP2 livery we were seeing last season. I could be wrong, though. I'll have to get Bostock to correct me on that if I am wrong. I'm sure he'll be speedy to correct me about that in my DMs. But at the minute, on board with Aaron Kirby, Alex Sylvester just behind him, trying to get the position in the last few minutes of this race. As you can see there, we're almost down to our last minute of the race between these cars. So every point is still on the line and everything's still to play for. So Mark Brown's going to be loving life at the minute, 4.3 seconds up the road. But Aaron Kirby and Alex Sylvester, the battle is still very much on, and it's going to be tight. As you can see, Alex Sylvester trying to make the move and get ready on the outside line here. You can see him on the right hand side of your screen there, just underneath the track map, but backs out. Probably very wise to do so leading up to the chicane. We've seen how many accidents can happen there, and these cars come through nice and clean overall. And you can see Harry Fox there in the background, 2.5 seconds down the road. But Scott Kostrick's making a move up the inside of James Bostock, trying to get the move done on him to move himself up to P8. Get all the points he possibly can out of this session, but he's not going to be able to do it. And once again, wisely pulls out. It seems like a lot of people are now pulling out of the chicane turns, which I think may be a bit of worry after the amount of smoke they've seen around there this session.
Barbecue.
Yeah, barbecue, chicken,
so,
steak,
1943, let's have a look at this. 1945 at the moment. Mark's going to cross a line. Would that be the penultimate
white
lap?
flag.
It
That is a white flag lap.
Yeah, I was going to say keep it going. We actually need, I think we need to be extending this to like 30-minute sprints, my friend, because there's so much action.
Yeah, I have to admit, I think it would be more beneficial, and if these drivers would be happy to, I think even like 25, I think would be a better number. But well, I might even see if I can push that across to Mr.
I think
Johnston
so as well,
and
in the
Bostock.
votes out there, in the chat there, because it just seems there's so much racing action, we can't capture all of it, and another
As you
10
can
minutes
see
would be great.
Here, the battle for 11th at the minute between Ryan Dudley, Hadfield, Wareham and Fretwell all in the mix there. There's a bit of contact just as we mention it. Commentator's curse is on fire tonight. You can see Dan Wareham had a bit of contact there on the back of Ayrton Hadfield with the what I believe will be the blue bonnet, because the way to tell the two Hadfields apart is one has green, one has blue, and that's to help us tell them apart. Scott Kostrick side by side with James Bostock. Those two not giving each other any room to budge around these corners, and I'm sure they're gonna keep it nice and clean through here. Very well done from those two. Well done, chaps. And as they come up past Brittens up the back straight there, we've got more cars going side by side. Dan Wareham and Alex Fretwell.
Aaron's made a mistake.
Between them two.
Aaron's made a mistake on the final lap of this
Aaron.
race. After a nice strong position in P2, give or take, he's now lost it. And we're going to have to go over to Mark Brown, because Mark Brown's got a couple of corners. What has just happened? We'll see if we get...
I think I can make out what just happened. He caught the wheels on the outside grass after the chicane, and he spun himself, and he's gone into the wall. I could see the track mark and follow it all the way to the wall.
No.
So he's bounced off of that. That looks like that's what's happened. Hopefully we'll be able to see what happened there after this race concludes. But Mark Brown coming across to be your race winner of race number 2. There we go. Matt getting almost maximum points. Not the quickest lap, but he's out there in P1. Alex Sylvester P2 and Harry Fox ran off your podium in P3. We'll wait for the rest of the pack to come around. And Mark Brown decides to go Tokyo Drift mode and realise that they're on the last Fast and Furious, so puts it into a wall instead because he's not going to need that car anymore tonight. And we'll just wait for your last few cars, but I think that's a bit of a
I call them Centaurians, mate, because if they've conquered a battle of battles, haven't they? Everybody needs a Medal of Honor after this one.
Yeah, it's been great. Right, all these drivers definitely should pat themselves on the back after this, and I highly would advise these drivers to watch this back as well, because when you watch things like this back, you can spot your mistakes and work on things, but also you see how great this stuff looks, and the amount of work that gets put in from the broadcaster side, but also the racing side as well. Everyone that turns up for these is just fantastic. They're all stars, and they all are fantastic what they do. Kevin Randall going for a spin.
Mate, come on, a couple more corners. I've been it yet. Don't give up. As Winston Churchill would say, never give up, never surrender. You're here in the United Kingdom. You can't give up.
We shall fight them on the beaches, and we shall fight them in Oulton Park as well as.
Somebody quote that. Brilliant job. That's why you have Callum in the booth, don't you?
Sean Clark coming across the line there. Now we're just waiting for your last driver who's out on track at the minute, Kevin Randall, who is following up from that.
That's Kevstar. Oh, come on, Kevstar. You gotta keep on the track too, mate. Just one corner.
He said we shall fight them on the beaches, and he's looking for the sand. That's what he's doing, but he's coming across the start-finish line there, and that wraps up your grid. Marlow game at P2. Alex, great job. Fantastic from Alex there, yeah, P2. Wonderful race from him. We'll go through your results
for this
here for feature race. There we go. Mark Brown, P1. Alex Sylvester, P2. Harry Fox ran off your podium sitters in P3. John Sylvester, P4. Ollie Cole, P5. Aaron Kirby, P6. Mark Proctor, P7. James Bostock, P8. Scott Kostrick, P9. Joe Glass, P10. Ryan Dudley, P11. Ayrton Hadfield, P12. Alex Fretwell, P13. Richard Fluherty, P14. James Pallett, P15. Shane Cotton, P16. John Johnston in P17. Neil Rocks, P18. Following on from that, we have Philip McConaughey in P19. Jordan Hadfield ran off your top 20. James Baxter finished off P21. Adrian Hadfield, P22. Stuart Brierley in P23. Richard Knight, P24. Sean Clark, P25. Kevin Randall, after some Tokyo drifting and some famous quotes, P26. Andy West, P27. Dan Wareham finishing P28. David Smith, P29. James Howells, P30. Martin Lee, P31, Stanley Jr., P32, and Martin Hobson will round off your grid of 33 there. So some fantastic racing tonight, and vital racing tonight.
I just wanted to see real quick there, what was the moment that we needed to catch that happened just before, so I could go through a lot of the results here.
Yes.
Who was it again?
Aaron Kirby.
Aaron Kirby. I know I hate to do that to you, Aaron, but I need to go back and scroll back and have a look through all the race incidents there to see what happened. Because that looking strong, wasn't he? Here, I think it was here. Sorry, Aaron. This might have been it. It's all chugging along right now, my friend. I don't think it's even going to handle it. I don't think it can. Let's have a look. No, I don't know what that was.
No.
This could be a little bit after, of course, because all the drivers are doing all sorts of jazz. Anyway. Yep.
But yeah, I believe what had happened there is he's come out of that chicane, tried to hold his line, and he's put his outside wheels on the grass, unfortunately, which has ultimately sent him towards the left, and it was straight into the wall for him. And that's when we jumped on board of him. We could see him sitting there in the grass. Unfortunate for him. But we do have a couple of people waiting to jump into the booth with us for some final words before we close off here tonight. So we'll jump in first with Mark Brown, your race 2 winner. Bring Mark on up here. Hello, Mark Brown. Welcome to the booth. How's it going, buddy?
Very good, very good. Thank you very much.
Well, first of all, congratulations on what we just saw for race 2. Fantastic job from you. How are you feeling after tonight?
Yeah, damage limitation. I had a bit of a bad one the first race. Stupidly, I thought I'd go side by side with John just before Shell Oil corner, and I should have known myself, like, to not do it. I just cut him behind him, but touched the grass, and you've seen the rest. So it was a fighting match back up into P12, I think I got. But the second race now, like, it's not the way I wanted to go, is in get the reverse pole, but yeah, damage limitation. It was good now to get the second win.
Yeah, I mean, it was great racing from what we could see, and in terms of pace, you were definitely up there. We did have a couple of quick guys out there as well. One of them was Ollie Cole, who posted a couple of purple lap times. Do you see someone like Ollie Cole or anyone else out there that you've noticed today that's going to be your sort of rival, or someone you're going to be side by side with a lot throughout this season?
Oh yeah, I'd say so. I had a lot of problems there. I got no practice before the first, basically before qualifying. A lot of audio problems with the computer. So I seen the times he was putting up all right, and seems to be fast now. So yeah, next race will be interesting. So it will.
If you have audio problems in the future, mate, just let me know. We can do the and change the gears if that'll help you.
Every time I went over the starting line and other people went over the starting line, it was just calling out their surnames and messing about, and it was terrible. I had no crew chief, I had no Discord. It was terrible, but it
works, obviously. So maybe in the future, just cut all communications off and just drive as quickly as you can.
Maybe so. Yeah, maybe so. I was a bit gutted for Aaron Kirby in the second race. I seen he was holding second.
Yeah.
I
will try to find that one in a minute.
Yeah, I haven't seen what happened because he's the teammate. It'd be nice for the 1-2, but unfortunately it wasn't meant to be. So hopefully next race round we can do a bit better as a team.
Yeah, so we saw the Aaron Kirby incident towards the end of the race. Very unfortunate for Aaron.
I think this is it actually right now on the screen there. So, I mean, it's your interview at the moment, Mark. I feel bad for showing this, but if you wanted to see it, a bit delayed. There it is.
Yeah, it's the outside wheels, just as I thought.
Yeah.
He's gone just after the chicane. His outside wheels have gone onto the grass. I sent him into the wall on the left, and by the time he could get the thing back going again, he's lost out on that podium run. So I'm very unfortunate for him, and obviously for the team as well, Mark. But overall, not a bad result for yourself, especially in race 2. And what I know, obviously, it's very unfortunate with what we've just seen with Aaron Kirby. But how does that make you feel after tonight? Does that feel your confidence going forward, moving into Virginia next?
Yeah, it shows we've got pace, I know. So we'll have, for we can hold the lead, and yeah, hopefully next time we have a bit better luck. But I think now we should do all right. We should be hopefully challenging for the team. We'll be doing the team battle, I know. So we'll try our best now.
Yeah, Mark. I mean, just looking at you right now in your race helmet inside there, all calm, cool, collective, of course, and your racing gear there, and you can obviously see you got brown just above your turret visor there, racing. What's the CO? Yeah. I see the CO in like the LE liquid crystal display. What's after the C? The C and O, and what's after that?
Oh, code.
What is it?
Code brown.
Code. Oh, all right. There you go. So unfortunately, the camera angle can't switch around that, but I wanted to see it. Code brown. Oh, I get it. Oh, I get it. Jeez, I'm not the sharpest.
We had 3 browns in SRL on touring cars, so it was Al Brown, John Brown, and myself. So we had a small team going.
There you have it. Look at that. Barney's waving you right now. Look at that. Barney can wave it way better than Tim Cook can. The checkered flag. You crossed it right now. Right on cue. Good job there, Mark Brown. Now, looking into the season. Good strong performance at Oulton Park.
Thank you very much.
Looking forward to the next one, my friend.
Yeah, and definitely am. And I want to thank John and James and all for putting on a good show. And let's try and make a good show for the stream and all too. So. And keep up the good work, boys. It's good to see it. Good to watch it back, so it is, from yourselves. You're doing a great job. Terrific.
I love the green wheels.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
The green wheels do stick out. Beautiful. Well, Mark, we'll leave you to it, mate, and wish you all the best. And I will see you, I imagine, Thursday. And then me and Dean will both see you next Sunday.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
All right. Have a good one, buddy.
Thank you. Take care now.
So that was Mark Brown, ladies and gentlemen, for the race 2 winner. We do have one other person that is free to join us in the booth, and that is your P3 runner for race 2, which was Harry Fox. We'll just get Harry into here with us. Mr. Harry Fox, welcome to the booth. You are on board and live with us. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm good, thank you. How are you guys?
Yeah, we're good. We're good. We're just seeing some fantastic racing. Obviously, a fantastic result for you as well in race 2 there, especially P3. How do you feel after the podium spot there?
Pretty good. Getting the race win in race 1 and then getting back to 3rd in race 2 after the reverse grid's pretty good. Nice result. It was a hard fought push forward in those first few laps, going wide with Ryan Dudley for quite a bit, but it was good fun.
There were definitely some tight fights out there today. But leading, one thing we asked Mark, and I'll ask yourself as well, is if we're talking on the topic of momentum, how does this make you feel moving forward in the season? Obviously, we're next at Virginia Raceway before we then jump back to the UK, I believe, for Brands Hatch. So what kind of feeling does that give you after a P3 in race 2 and picking up those vital points early on in the season? How do you feel moving forward?
Pretty good, yeah. I mean, coming back off of the win of the championship last season, but there's some new faces in the league this season who look pretty quick, so it's good to pick up good points, and hopefully I can try and keep pushing forward. VIR is definitely not one of my strongest suits. Oulton Park definitely suits me a bit better, but I'll keep pushing on. We'll take the points that we can get. Hopefully Neil can get some good points as well in the team championship. And we will look for both of them if we can.
And Harry Fox, congratulations for the 164 machine. You gained 12 positions in the last race. That's going to feel pretty good. Nobody else gained any more. Actually, sorry, Mark did gain 12 positions, but back in P7, so you get the edge on there because you finished on the podium. That's going to feel good considering all the action, isn't it, with 33 cars on track?
Yeah, it feels pretty good. I think, it was really sad to see Aaron Kirby spin out in front of me on the final lap. I was not expecting the podium. I was pushing as hard as I could for it. I think I got like a personal best lap time on the towards the end of that. But watching Aaron spin out, it was one of those like yes, but also sad.
You got a 3.7k I rating, but a B class license. What's going on there, my friend?
I just don't race A license stuff. I mean, I'm over 4.0, so I could get it if I really wanted to, but just not something I'm interested in. Really.
You get podiums here at Tanso Racing League. That's all that counts, isn't it?
Yeah, just coming off the back of the Nürburgring 24 this weekend.
Did you? How did you go on that one, real quick? How did you pan out?
I think we were P4 in touring car in second split, which is pretty good.
Wow.
Not many touring cars in the whole weekend, though.
You've got to remember, 24 hours, everybody out there. That is that's endurance. Nighttime, of course, for racing, all the way through there. Split it up with, 4 or 5 drivers, I'd imagine, in your team. That's very impressive, my friend. Most of the teams that I do follow were lucky to finish inside the top 10.
Yeah, there's it's quite a thin grid when you're racing like towards the top end of the splits. There was only 10 touring cars, like 10 of each class, basically. But I mean, still a good result after 24 hours.
Meatballs and all that sort of jazz, exactly, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, fatigue kicks in. And some of the best drivers in the world, of course, will make mistakes. You just get a little bit of a snap of most, especially in Nordschleife, man. 174 corners. Easy to make a mistake somewhere along the line there. So, GG's on that one. So, this is a highlight. Your whole weekend's been fantastic for racing then.
Yeah, great results all weekend. Maybe we could carry it on into next weekend and just keep the momentum going, like you said. And hopefully maybe look for a second Tanso championship.
Ooh. Oh, Callum.
I have one final question for you, and that is a bit of a different one. Out of the calendar that we have coming up, what is your strongest, or you can do both, what is your strongest or most looking forward to track that's coming up this season? What one are you eyeing up the most?
I mean, Brands will be another strong one for me. I did pretty well there last time. I think I got a race win in race 1 and 2 at Brands last season. But I mean, Bathurst is going to be a blast. Ockham is a pretty strong one for me as well. VIR is going to be probably the worst. But we'll see how it goes. You take what you can get, right?
100%.
Well, VIR's next, isn't it? Callum, it's up on the screen at the moment too. If everybody wants to see what the schedule of the calendar is, of course. So you got to definitely make sure you hit the like and subscribe and get notifications of when the Sunday racing's on. Of course, this is always the best Sunday racing league on the planet. I do have a little bit of guys. It's always at Formula One time, aka Indy time, so I have to watch them one back later. But this is much more entertaining.
Yeah, it's been really good.
How does it feel when you've got all these cars out on track, especially from grid starts? Is it all nerves, like between you and any other drivers? I don't know if you sit in the channel talking to the other drivers at the time, but is it all nerves out there, or are people more just excited and raring to go?
I think there'll be a few people who are nervous on the grid. Depending on where I am in the grid, I'll be a bit nervous occasionally. Starting from P15 is always a bit of a sketchy one. Just got to try and push through it and hope for the best and try not to think about it too much.
Oh, you've done a fantastic job tonight. Obviously, jumping off from that P3 finish on race 2, so some fantastic points coming your way today. So, wish you all the best leading forward into the season, and we look forward to seeing you, if not this Thursday for the practice, we'll see you Sunday for the next race for all them juicy points.
Yeah, thanks. I look forward to it, and look forward to watching the broadcast back later. It should be good.
I appreciate the support. Have a good one, and we'll catch you next time.
Yep, thank you very much.
Well, there we go. That was Harry Fox, your last man on the podium there overall. So, after tonight, I have to admit, Biggles, I'm really looking forward to this season now. I was, quite looking forward to it before, but now I'm really sort of pumped for this, and seeing how many cars were out on track today. If this is how it's going to be each week, this is going to be very interesting, and I'm thrilled to be a part of it. So I'm really looking forward to races coming up. Overall, if you could have a couple of words or a sentence to sum up tonight's racing, what would you say?
I'd say, Callum, it's been absolutely fantastic in the booth with you. Of course, you are well connected here to the Tanso Racing Group. You know the drivers. We didn't get this selfie picture, of course, of Mr. Selfie for the driver photo. You know that one as well. But look at this talent as well. And it has to be a big shout out, everybody, of course, in the chat. That Milo was definitely a part of it. Ollie came in there and said thanks for the broadcast. Everybody, Scotty said that great stuff there. Of course, they'll be watching this one back, as well as everybody that is a part. If they get a chance to come in there, have a chat, absolutely brilliant. We love it. More to come. No, I'm hyped. I'm absolutely stoked, Callum. This is going to be a great, great series. The only thing, as I said, maybe we could stretch it. Let's go 30-minute heats so we can get more of this action.
I am actually going to go talk to the owner, hopefully shortly, about that and bring that up. But for now, I think it's come to that time where we must sign off after a great night of racing once again. Obviously, the points are going to be calculated up, and hopefully we'll have something for you next time we are live to show you exactly who's where in the championship standings. And this is where things do get serious now, because people are going to be trying to build up on what they've already got. So from myself and Biggles in the booth today, we thank you all very much for watching, and those watching it back, appreciate your support. Don't forget to like and subscribe on the JPB channel, and we will catch you again next Sunday. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a good night.